Hello guys, hope you are doing well. Today in this tutorial I will try to show you a possible printing technique that can be used in order to represent a 3D model, right? So for today's presentation I have taken this simple example that is shown in your screen right now, and we will use this in order to demonstrate the possible printing technique that can be used in AutoCAD for 3D objects, right? So what we will do first is we will try to open the software. Okay, so as we have opened the software here, the first thing that we will do is we will try to set the limits. So as you can see here that the dimensions, this is 104 and this is 72 and this is 48. So in this case I am setting my limits to the upper low, this is the lower left corner, so the lower left corner will be set at 0, 0, enter, and the upper right corner I am setting it at 200, 200. Okay, enter. Then I will zoom, Z enter, A enter. Okay, so I have rightly applied the limits here, and we will go for the modeling of that particular object, right? So this is the object. So before, what we will do is we will go to the model views and we will change it to first southeast isometric, and we are keeping currently our visual style in 2D wireframe style, right? So this is how the orientation of the coordinate system will be by default. If you want to change it, you can change it at any point of time, and the technique I have already shown in the previous videos, right? So what we will do first is we will try to first construct this particular face of the object, and then we will extrude the 2D profile that we have created, right? So this is 48, so this is how much? This is 24, this is also 24, this is also 24. Beforehand, what we will do, we will go to this visualize option and we will change our coordinate setup to the front. Okay, so if you keep this in front, as because in this diagram you can see this is the front face of the object, so currently I am drawing the front face, therefore I will change the coordinate to the front. Okay, that means x and y will be arranged in the front face of the object. So I am clicking this front option, and as you can see that x and y axis has been accordingly arranged. I will keep the grid off for the time being, so I am keeping this ortho mode on, and you can also click on F8 to click this ortho mode on. Okay, so I'm going to this home panel and I will select the polyline option. Okay, so the first thing I will select an arbitrary start point. So this is the arbitrary start point, and as you can see this distance is 48, therefore I will give an value of 48 here, enter. Then this is how much? This is 24, as you can see here, this is 24, so 24, enter. Then you come down, how much height? This is 16, so 16 distance. Okay, enter. Then again 24, okay, enter. Then again 16, down, enter. I'm panning it a little bit so that it will be visible to you. So this is 16, then again 24, enter, then again 16, enter, and then we will join it at the initial point. Okay, right click, enter. So this is the profile that we have created according to the given dimensions. So what we will do, we will extrude this profile. So I'll go to this extrude option, click on extrude, select the area and click on enter, and we will extrude it at how much distance? We will not extrude it throughout this 104 distance because we have got another part of the object visible here. So we will keep this 104 minus of 24, that means up to this, that is 80, right? So we will extrude this for a distance of 80, enter. Okay, so this is the object that has been formed. If you go to this realistic option, you can clearly see that the object has been formed here. Okay, so for completing the second part of the object, that is this particular object, we will construct an rectangle of height 48, and this length will be 72 as it is rightly said. So currently it is in x and y plane, so it is not an issue. So we'll go to the rectangle option here. I will separately create the object. I will select the first point and I will go for this dimension option. I'm giving the length of the rectangle as 72, so this is 72, enter, and the height or the width, whatever you say, this is 48, so I'm giving 48 as the distance, enter. And as you can see then the rectangle is formed. We will again extrude this rectangle for a distance of 24. So I'll go to this extrude option again, click on extrude, select the area, click on enter, and we will extrude this, give the value 24, enter. So you can see that the object has been formed. We have to move this object to the convenient position. So what we will do, we will select this, we'll click on M, enter, select the base point. So our base point, I am selecting it here, and we will bring it and align it at this particular corner of the previous object, right? So as you can see that we have formed the model that was supplied to you. Okay, now the next thing that we will do is we will union these two parts, because these are separate objects. So I will select the union command, union, enter, select the first object and the second object. Okay, click on enter, and as you can see the object has been union. Okay, now we will go for the plotting option. So the one of the plotting option that you can consider here is the viewport options. Okay, so before you go to the viewport option, you have to understand that what is the layout, what is meant by layout. Okay, so layout is nothing but a paper space which can be used in order to print a particular model, right? So as you can see, if you click on this layout, this will give you an opaque sheet of paper, and this opaque sheet of paper is actually showing you the paper on which you are printing your particular assignment. Okay, and as you can see, these dashed lines that are visible here, these are actually showing you the boundary under which the printing will be done. Okay, anything outside this boundary will not be printed. Okay, so we'll come to this in a bit. Before that, I'm going to this model option again. So we will go to this visualize option. Okay, now as soon as you go to this visualize option, you can see this model viewports palette. Okay, now in this model viewports palette, there are many options available where you will get this viewport configuration. Okay, you can have got a drop down menu here. If you click on this drop down menu, you can see that there are various presets that has been given. Okay, so you can choose any one of these presets, or you can create your own viewport configuration. Okay, so if you are selecting any one of the presets, for example, if I am selecting this 2 horizontal option, if you click on this, then you can see that your screen will be divided into 2 different viewports. Okay, this is the first viewport, this is the second viewport. Okay, once you select on the viewport, that particular viewport will be active, as you can see here, and if you select the other viewport, the other viewport will be active, right? Similarly, I can go for other options also. You can consider this option 3 right. As you can see, now you have got 3 different viewports that are shown in the screen. Now what are the use of these viewports? The use of these viewports is you can actually display different views in different viewports for presentation purpose. Okay, so for example, if I am selecting this particular viewport here, and I am considering this to be the southeast isometric model, and this is the realistic view that we are getting here. The second viewport I am selecting, that suppose this is the top face that I want to display here. So as you can see, top face of the object has been rightly visible, and I want to keep this in suppose 2D wireframe, then you can see it's clearly visible here. Okay, then in the third one, suppose I want to get the front view of the object. So suppose this is the front view, as you can see here, and if I am keeping this in 2D wireframe, you can see this is clearly visible. Okay, so as you can see, these 3 are same objects, but different viewports are used in order to represent an object from different faces. Now for printing also, if you want to represent an 3D model, you may have to display different faces of the object, right? So in that case, you may take the help of these viewports. Okay, now let us come back to the previous one. This is the single viewport that was previously active. So I'm keeping this currently in southeast isometric view. Okay, so this is the realistic model that we have developed. What I suggest here is, before you go for this viewport option, go to this layer palette and create a different layer. Okay, now what is layer, I have previously explained in the class also, but for the time being I'm not explaining it. Okay, so I'll go to this layer properties option, and as you can see that a default layer has been created. Okay, this is the default layer. I can create my own layer. So for creating a new layer, I will click on this option. This is for creating a new layer. You can also use the Alt N option in order to create the new layer. I'm clicking on this, and as you can see that this layer has been created. Now I want to rename this layer, and let us rename this as Viewports. Okay. So I have double clicked on this, and I have selected this viewport layer as the current layer. Okay, so now as you can see that this viewport layer is the current layer. So now I will go for the viewport option in visualize tab. Okay, so here instead of using the presets, you can also create your own viewport. So for the timing, let us consider this 3 right option, and I want to keep this. I want to keep select this viewport, and I want to keep this as the top view of the object, and I want to keep this in the 2D wireframe. Okay, let us zoom out a little bit and keep it at a convenient position, right? And this viewport I want to keep this in the front view. Suppose this is the front view that I am showing here, and this is the 2D wireframe view, and this is the desired representation. Okay, and let us keep this as it is. I'm selecting this viewport, so that this blue line will indicate that the current viewport is active. Now I can actually go to this command, this Viewports. Okay, click on enter, and as you can see that this window will come and appear. Okay, now you can actually create your own viewport. That is, you click on this new viewport option and name this. I'm giving the name as my viewport. Okay, and I'm clicking on OK. So next thing that what we will do is we will go to this layout option. Okay, once you come to this layout option, you will see that a single viewport is active here. You click on this and delete this first. Okay, now this is an opaque sheet of paper, as I have previously said. Now this paper has a particular properties. Now I want to keep my printing paper to A4 size, so I will have to go to this, right click on layout option and go to this page setup manager. Okay, now once you go to this page setup manager, this window will appear, and go to this modify option. Once you click on this modify option, select the printer as DWG to PDF, this particular option. Okay, and I am selecting the landscape option here for A4, ISO A4 landscape, that is 297 into 210 millimeter. So I will go and search for the A4 landscape. There you go, we have got ISO A4 297 into 210 millimeters. I'm selecting this. Okay, now I will take it from the layout. What to plot? I want to take it from the layout. Scale will be 1:1. Okay, I am selecting this as monochrome because I want to print it in black and white. If you want to print it in color, you may select this AutoCad.cdp option. Okay, I am selecting the monochrome option for the time being, and I am clicking on OK. Okay, close. Now this sheet that you are actually seeing here, this is the A4 size sheet which is represented in the landscape format. Okay, now I will go to this viewport option again, and I will go to this named viewport because I have created a previous viewport on my own. So I will go to this named viewport, and as you can see, my viewport option is available here. I will click on this and I will click on OK. Okay, once you click on OK, first corner, so this, let us consider this to be the first corner and this to be the opposite corner. So as I have selected this, you can see currently now you can actually work on these viewports in layout also. You can click on this, double click on this, and the viewport will be active. You can zoom in and out from here. Now, as you can see here, I want to keep this particular object in 1:1 scale, so I will have to go to this particular option. This is the viewport scaling option. Go to this and select the 1:1 option. So 1:1 option, it's getting bigger, so I'm keeping this in 1:2. Okay, so all the objects I will try to keep this in 1:2 option. I will again double click on this to activate this viewport. I will again select this 1:2 option from here, so as you can see, and also this particular viewport I want to keep this in 1:2. You can directly go for the plot option. So for going to this plot option, I will select this plot. Okay, and as you can see, it's already selected DWG2 PDF, monochrome, everything is okay. Check everything and click on OK, and select the folder in which you want to save it. Currently I am saving this in desktop. Okay, and click on save. So as soon as you save it, you can go and check out the PDF. So this is the PDF that we have created here. So thank you for joining.